Deep below the Edgeville dungeon lies a secret wilderness location that only the bravest warriors dare to enter. But what if I were to tell you that what's actually going on inside this wilderness dungeon is much, much more sinister than ever expected? And what if I were to tell you that illegal bot farms were using this location to farm millions, maybe even billions, worth of RuneScape gold, which in return would be sold for thousands of dollars on the black market, all by collecting the eggs of these deadly red spiders? Well boys, what I discovered today is going to blow your mind. Here is an aerial view of where these bots are collecting these red spider eggs. I have highlighted the tiles in which the red spider eggs spawn at, along with the tile that these bots both log in and out on. As you can see, the bots will log in on this tile, run around, collect all of the spider eggs, run back to this exact tile, and then hop to the next world. The majority of these bots are all in fact extremely low levels, ranging between 14 and 25 combat. So I went ahead and created a low-level magic pure. That way we could clap some of these bots and see exactly how many spider eggs we could snatch from these devious little rats. Just look at him running around with those stupid purple pants. Seriously, bud? Purple pants? Wow. One thing I noticed in particular about these bots is that when I began to attack them, they would still try to remain on this one specific square, which made me realize that this bot was most likely coded by a 4th grader. Wow. Alright, let's take a look at the loot. About 14k for a full inventory of red spider eggs. That's honestly pretty garbage. But then I began thinking, these bots can loot a full inventory of spider eggs in less than 6 minutes. And given the fact that there is around 50 of these bots hopping around each world, that equals out to about 700k coins. Multiply that by 1 hour's time, and you are looking at roughly 8.4 million coins per hour. And then multiply that by 24 hours a day. You're now looking at 201 million coins a day, strictly from looting these stupid spider eggs, which equals out to around 6 billion coins per month, which then can be sold on the black market for around $3,000. Wow. All from collecting some stupid little eggs. It truly amazes me how much money can be harvested from this game. And believe me when I tell you, these botters are not happy when us YouTubers make videos exposing their methods. Here I received a personal threat on my last video, from a guy who was without a doubt affiliated with the underground bot market on Old School RuneScape. Here's what he had to say. Who gives a crap about that? Get a life, you sentimental and envious prick. If I knew about a bot app, I would definitely use it. Some people work, or are busy in life, and don't have mum like most of you lazy bums to take care of bills. You have to literally have no life to play all day and get 100k an hour, and lose it in PK. As with all the other apps that make you even see your hit points on PK. Get a life, and who gives a crap if someone else makes money? Just mind your own business. Wow. Well, how about you listen here, buddy boy? These criminals made it my business the second they stuck their stinky hairy balls in my wilderness. Speaking of stink, now boys, I want to redirect your attention to the Revenant Cave. Because what's going on in these updated caves ties indirectly to the spider egg bot farm that we just witnessed. Since JJX completely destroyed these caves with their horrible update a few months ago, many people think that the gold farming epidemic within these caves has come to an end. But that couldn't be further from the truth. If anything. In fact, all it did was make it worse for the entire game as a whole. because a lot of those big clan gold farming operations made their way to farming bosses instead, which ultimately was much more profitable for the gangs, and completely tanked the RuneScape economy. But it did not stop the gold farming inside the Revenant Caves, and these clips are here to prove that theory. Here I had encounter a nice young gold farmer, who was lavishly farming the Revenant Orc for some massive profits, which normally wouldn't be a big deal whatsoever. I think it's pretty well known that some of the only people who still inhabit the wilderness today are in fact gold farmers. But it wasn't until I clapped this guy for some massive bank, that I noticed something that was very, very suspicious. Red spider eggs, in the looting bag? Which makes almost zero sense because there isn't any red spider eggs in the wilderness, except for at the Edgeville dungeon. But at first I thought maybe it was just a strange coincidence. And it wasn't until I found this guy right here, that I realized that what I had just discovered was much, much deeper than what I had originally suspected. Here I found a gold farmer who appeared to be in some kind of trance. Possibly, a witch lizard trance. Although this guy was risking some massive bank, he was completely unable to attack me back. And that's when I knew that something sinister was taking place within these Revenant Caves. Red spider eggs, right there in the looting bag. Now boys, I'm not trying to sound like your typical conspiracy theorist, but I'm beginning to think that all of these so-called coincidences are in fact not coincidental at all. By the way, did you see how massive the loot was from that goblin? Nearly 1 million coins. Wow. One thing I did notice though, is not every gold farmer I clapped in these caves had red spider eggs in their inventory. Some of them just had massive bank loot, while others on the other hand, did indeed have the red spider eggs. Which made me ask many questions. So many questions, yet such little answers. Why do these gold farmers have red spider eggs in the first place? Is there something symbolic about these red spider eggs within the black market community? Or maybe the gold farmers who have the red spider eggs are actually a part of the same bot farm that collects the eggs. Or maybe the black market of Old School RuneScape was tipped off by a corrupt mod over at JJX, who knows that the price of red spider eggs is going to skyrocket, due to some unannounced update. The possibilities are truly endless. But if one thing is for sure, is that someone knows something, and that someone may very well be Joe Biden, the biggest money laundering iguana in the history of the United States. Or maybe it's Modash himself. And his employment at JJX over the last 20 years has just been a whole giant facade, just to swindle gold out of the company's pocket without them expecting a thing. Either way, if one thing is for sure, is that it all ties into these red spider egg bots. And I'm going to get to the bottom of this, even if it's the last thing that I ever do. Ha 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 ha, wow. Boys, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, because it truly helps me out. And don't forget to show some love to Smooth My Balls. They are the first company in almost a year to give me a sponsorship, and their products are truly awesome. Go check them out boys, go check them out. And as always boys, stay real, stay true, and stay big. Wow.